Assalamualaikum and very good day to all viewers. So today, I from section 1, group 4, will present about our proposal for BNP 21103 Construction Technology and Management project. So our group member is first Lee Ziyi, metric number AN210160. Next is Nurin Nabila, metric number CN210150. Next is Siti Nur Khadijah, metric number AN210021. Next is Muhammad Alif Hakimi, metric number CN210301. And lastly myself, Muhammad Akil Koyum, metric number AN210021. So, so firstly, we as the developer of this project are very honoured and pleased to submit the proposal of developing a new facility to people of Pago City. This proposal is being submitted in response to the City of Pago people request for building a new shopping complex to ensure people can shop or buy their needs and attract people from other cities and tourists from international countries globally to come to Pago. People also could live in a new, modernized life in an area that is growing fastly. So, for the objective of this proposal, I will pass to the next presenter.
The purpose of the construction of the shopping mall is as a place to shop because they have a lot of stores that carry much needed goods and services, a place for socializing and recreation because there are activities that attract and offer a lot of benefits to consumers, especially for students and the community around Pago, and as and as a shopping mall that can contribute significantly to community well-being by providing a meeting place for community residents to assemble and experience a sense of community around Pago.
My name is Nuri Nabila. I will present the building layout. Here the layout of first floor of the project shopping complex. In first floor, we divide to three sections, which is the entrance area, the center area, and the hall area. Every area have shop lot, and every shop lot have different size and also the price. For shop lot, there are big prices have a big shop lot. The cheaper price will get a bit smaller than the other shop lot. For every floor, we provide the shop lot for food and beverage, the toilet, and also the surround that will be easier for the customer.
Substructure component of the complex. The location of this mall that we want to construct is in Pago Educational Hub. The foundation that has been selected for us is a shallow foundation called a rough foundation. This rough foundation which supports the building and disperses its weight to the ground. In a rough foundation, the footing is dispersed across a large area, taking the stress of the more columns and then distributing the load evenly over the entire span of the footing. This type's bigger area is closer to the soil which allows the load to be distributed over a much larger area with less stress. When laying a foundation on poor quality soils, a rough foundation is advantageous. Rough foundations are used in buildings where the work of waterproofing the substructure has to be complete. Engineers recommended a rough foundation if the water level is high in certain of the development zones. Rough foundations, also known as mat foundation, are often shallow foundation made of reinforced concrete slab that covers the whole footprint of a building. If a traditional rough foundation is insufficient, it can be strengthened by the addition of piles, resulting in a pile rough foundation. Types of soil in Bago Educational Hub is soft clay sand. It is prone to swelling and contracting. They are inappropriate for strap foundation and footing because of their limited bearing capability. In this situation, a pile foundation is used up till the stable strata is reached and is acceptable For substructure building, the piles are excavated further. The process of pile rough foundation. The area where the foundation will be placed is first surveyed and excavated to the level at which the foundation will be built. To prevent uneven settlement, the excavation space has been leveled. Pumping is done to remove water and begin further excavation if the soil is wet after excavation or if the water table is reached. To prevent water from penetrating the slab, a waterproofing membrane is provided at the base. The soil also will adhere to the concrete once it has been poured. Cement sand paste is poured. After deciding on the slab depth, concrete is put to the necessary height and allowed to cure in variation of methods.
Assalamualaikum. I will talk more about superstructure component of the complex. There is 5 things in this topic. The first one is roof. The best type of roof for our shopping complex is the flat roof. Flat roof is more convincing and affordable than sloped roof. In making this roof, we can decrease costs from the material and less time than the sloped roof. The second one is floor. This ground floor structure support the room content and the user of the work itself. If the floor is the ground floor, it will be provide more resistance to the ground moisture and heat loss. The third one is upper floor. Right after we done with the ground floor in the construction, the upper floor must be done to complete the criteria of the shopping complex. It's considered as the requirement as the second floor. The fourth one is column. In the making of the column, it's one of the most important use for structural reinforcement, much as like a beam. Columns are vertical structure that transmit the compressive load. The column being supported the floor from the above. The last one is wall. We will use the load-bearing wall. It will be able to carry load imposed on it from the beam side and also slab above to include its own weight and transfer it to the foundation. This load-bearing wall will support structural members such as beam, slab, and wall on the floor above it. Next, we will talk more about step by step in this superstructure component. The first one is floor. There is second step. The first step, we have to excavate the area. The second step, we have to finish the subterranean concrete column. The third step, we have to place the form of the slab. After that, the fourth step is we have to install steel reinforcement. The fifth step is we have to pour the concrete, and then the last step is we have to let the slab cure. This is the example of the floor, ground floor. Next, we going to upper floor. There is just 4 steps. The first step we have to assemble and erect the formwork for slab. The second step we have to prepare and place the reinforcement for slab. The third step we have to pour, compact and finishing concrete floor slab. And then last one is we have to curing concrete and remove the formwork. And here's also the example of the upper floor. Next, we are going for the column and wall. For the column, there is also 4 steps in it. The first step is we have to do the column layout work. After it done, we're going to the next step is column. We have to do the column reinforcement work. And the third step is we have to pouring concrete into the column. And the last step and the last step is we have to removing the column formwork. And this is the example of the column formwork. And then the last one is the wall. There is only 5 steps in the making of the wall. There is load-bearing wall. The first step is we have to do the formwork of the concrete wall. And then the second step is we have to construct joint in concrete wall. The third step is we have to pour the concrete in it. And the fourth step we have to remove the formwork. And then the last step is we have to curing the concrete wall. And this is the example of the wall making.
Hello everybody, I'm Z. I will present the part about causes management, project planning, and the conclusion. So it's anticipated that the project will include public or private plaza areas, parking, and major landscaping. And we also recognize the importance of creating a place with a uh, with a sense of community, providing space for the project residents, shoppers, and visitors to interact, shop, live, learn, and enjoy. And this is the table of the unit type, number, average SF, total SF, rent per month, and rent SF. Uh, and it's anticipated that at this time that the total cost of the project will be 9,510,922 as set forth in the following table. These include the land basics, environmental, demolition, and site work, buildings, financial works, contingency. Next is also the causes, and typically a project like this one proposed here will require between 25 until 35% equity and 65 until 75% debt, and this depends upon the specific various vendor criteria and how much of the project is pre-lease or pre-sold. And also this is unlikely that the project or any other plan for the development of the property can be completed without substantial financial incentive assistance. So we need economic assistance from the other from the taxes, and the developer also anticipate that a certain amount of the PIF can be repaid from proceeds derived from a CID, and possibly an additional amount will be repaid from a TDD. In addition, although not being requested at this time, the possibility does exist for a portion of project, so a property tax abatement may be requested. If such a request were to be made and approved, the developer understands that the TIF will have to be adjusted accordingly. And next is the management. The developer with the entire project team have the financial and administrative capacity to undertake the project. Also, the members of the project team identified below all have extensive experience in development projects, including design, investment, development, financing, leasing, and management. And the project is managed by certain companies like Ubanswik Group Developer, PRI Architect, HBD Construction, primarily. So the next one is the project planning. The project will be completed in 4 phases. The phase 1 is environmental remediation. The second phase is the demolition of the existing structures. The third one is the site work and installation of on-site utilities and stormwater management systems. And the fourth phase is the construction of new improvements on the property. And the project schedule is on March 2015. We begin work on the DIF and draft CID. On April 2015, we work on the redevelopment plan and cost-benefit analysis. On May 2015, we filed the petition. On June 2015, the environmental remediation begins. On July 2015, the approval of the petitions, also the demolition begins. And on August 2015, the board approved the redevelopment plan and project. On September 2015, the approval of imposition of sales tax and the approval of intergovernmental agreement. On October 2015, the demolition continues and the site work begins. On November 2015, the site work continues and the stormwater work begins. On March 2015, the site work continues and the work begins on construction. On May 2016, the demolition continued, and on the September 2016, stormwater work complete. And the last schedule is June 2018. Work completes on construction and project also completed. So as a conclusion, Pago committee needs more for students to replenish the needs and requirements. The purpose of this project was to analyze the superstructure and substructure for the building. This because there are very few of shopping complex or malls at the Pago. So our team goal was to make the shopping malls or complex for the students to make the most out of their holidays or weekends while they are attending classes at University Tun Hussein, Malaysia. There are a variety of arcade shops, food court, office, service yards, and others in the shopping malls. So that is all for our group presentation. Thank you all for listening.